Good evening, East Alabama. This is the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. Want to welcome you in on this Good Friday. Now, I don't know if you know the meaning of Good Friday, but obviously the day is coming when Jesus rose up out of that tomb, left an empty tomb behind, and forever is history since then. I know that I am super thankful that he has risen, and then we get to celebrate that this weekend and celebrate today, the lead up to this weekend, to Sunday. And so I hope that you understand the meaning of Good Friday. I hope you understand the meaning of Easter, what it's truly about. You don't just celebrate having the family together, eating good food, and searching for Easter eggs with candy and money, but that you actually know the reason behind the holiday. So we want to welcome you in on Good Friday. It's certainly going to be a Good Friday here on the Locker Room because we've got highlights of a big area series between two local East Alabama teams, between the Jacksonville Golden Eagles and the Cleburne County Tigers. And we're also going to give you guys the scores from yesterday involving teams in East Alabama. But as always, I want to start the show by reminding you, if I have to say it every single day, that means people are still missing it. They're not listening. Listen to me real close. Let me make it real clear. Do me a favor today. If you really want to do me a favor today, today's my brother's birthday. By the way, happy birthday to my brother Ryder. I love you, man, and I hope you have a great birthday. If you want to do Ryder a favor, you want to do me a favor, hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page. And the reason for that is so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. with local East Alabama content. Guys, I got to tell you, next week is a week you're not going to want to miss. Because next week we're going to have Calhoun County Golf Championship. We're going to have Calhoun County Track Championship. We're going to have Calhoun County Soccer Championship. By the way, we got your message from the Donahoe Falcons soccer coach. We most certainly are going to be covering you guys. The reason that I haven't hit you guys as hard right now is because, honestly, I'm expecting you to play for a state championship. So I'm expecting to have a little bit longer for the Donahoe Falcons to be playing soccer. And then also we'll be covering the Calhoun County Softball Championship. And so, hey, again, we're covering all those things. But, guys, look, you've got me. I'm trying my hardest out there. Nathan and Ashley help me, of course. But you guys can help us. Like, there's nowhere where it says, hey, we don't accept any highlights. No, like, if you've got an athlete that plays for a local school and you're at the game, take video. Now, look, I can't use a press box Skyview blurry camera, but if you're over here by first base and it's clear and some of these iPhones, like, look, these iPhones have good quality cameras on them. Take some video action of the game, whether it's soccer, whether it's baseball, softball, track and field. Like, if you're saying, hey, you haven't really been covering us, maybe because I can't get everywhere every night. But you as parents can send us, whether it's via email at eansports23@gmail.com. You can send us highlights, or you can text our Facebook page and say, hey, there's a big game tonight. My daughter plays or my son runs. Do you care if I send you some video? And we will absolutely highlight any athlete. Even if it's just highlights of your athlete, send them to us and we'd be more than glad to spotlight them and use them. That is our goal here at East Alabama Now. Next week's going to be a busy week, but again, it all starts right now in the moment today. We have a great show on Good Friday, and we have great highlights for you guys. We have a scoreboard as always, but you got to hit that like and follow button so that you don't miss the Locker Room. And it's not just the Locker Room. If you haven't heard yet, in about an hour and a half at 6:30, we're going to have our East Alabama Now news, and I'm sure John Holder is going to tell you what the weather's looking like this weekend. He's got all the maps and stuff. I don't know how all that works, but either way, he brings it to you the best of his ability. Mike Stedham was by himself yesterday. Shout out to Katie Edwards. We hope you get to feeling better, and I know obviously missing the news sucked yesterday, missing her husband's big area game sucked, but Katie, health comes first, and so we hope that you get to feeling better soon. And then so I'm not sure if Katie will be back today or if it'll just be Mike, and then in sports, of course, I will have more on the Jacksonville-Cleburne County game and previewing tomorrow's games for the weekend. All right, with that being said, as always, we start our show with our scoreboard. We've got a lot of baseball scores from yesterday, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with the game that we're going to be talking about today. That is the Jacksonville Golden Eagles and the Cleburne County Tigers. Coach Townsend's team came into this series. These are two teams that have finished at the top of this area the past couple years. I definitely think strength of schedule was a factor. Jacksonville has played some tough teams. Cleburne County's schedule, not as tough, needless to say, but I think that non-conference certainly strengthened Jacksonville coming in this series because offensively you could tell in terms of hitting, Jacksonville was levels above Cleburne County. And, of course, Zay Lemon had another monster day yesterday at the plate. He went 4 for 4 yesterday, went 7 for 8 on the series, had 2 RBIs. We're going to hear from Zay Lemon himself later on the show. Lemon scored 4 of the 11 runs for Jacksonville yesterday. Hey, how about Jackson Bonner? He finished 2 for 3. He had a triple, racked up a team-high 4 RBIs yesterday. How about Gavin Peeler, the catcher? Threw a runner out at second, totaled 3 RBIs of his own, collected 2 hits. Jacksonville didn't just win, they dominated Cleburne County 11-3. I was thinking about Kingston Peeler. He scored twice, had 2 hits, as it was all Jacksonville Golden Eagles. They sweep Cleburne County to open up area play. All right, how about the Ohatchee Indians? They racked up 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Got a big win over Fife. And I got to tell you, 8 of Ohatchee's starting 9 hitters had a hit in the win. Xavier Luna hit a double. Holbert led the team with 3 RBIs. Smith, Robertson, and Folsom all scored twice in the win. Folsom pitched 3 innings, was credited with the win, allowing 2 hits, no earned runs. He allowed 1 unearned. He walked 3, struck out 4. Luna pitched the remaining 4 innings, allowing just 2 hits while striking out 7 batters, as Ohatchee got the win over Fife, 11-3. All right, Donahoe's been playing down South Alabama in Loxley, and they played Thomas Worthington. You're like, I've never heard of Thomas Worthington. Well, they are from Ohio, so they made the trip from Ohio to Alabama, and they beat Donahoe pretty good. Donahoe was actually held to only 4 hits in a loss to Thomas Worthington. Blake Sewell had the Falcons' lone extra base hit with a double. He scored a run. Broderick McCauley, Kai Kleckler, and Peyton Webb each had 1 hit apiece. But it was all Thomas Worthington out of Ohio as they get the win over Donahoe 9-1. We had highlights of this game yesterday. Deschler and Faith Christian. Eli Robinson collected 2 of Faith Christian's 4 hits in what would be a loss to Class 4A's Deschler. Robinson hit 2 singles and scored a run in the loss. Carson Harris and Vincent Montgomery had 1 hit apiece, while Will Smith had the team's lone RBI, or 2 RBIs, I should say. It was all Class 4A Deschler. We heard from Coach Cantrell yesterday as his Tigers got the win over Faith Christian by a score of 15-2. Donahoe, they lost to Thomas Worthington out of Ohio. They dropped their second game of the day down in Loxley as they fell to Class 1A Sweetwater. Blake Sewell batted leadoff, went 2 for 2 in the loss, scored 2 of the Falcons' 3 runs. Marcus Lawler drew 2 walks, had a hit and scored a run of his own. Kai Keckler had a hit and a pair of RBIs for Donahoe, but it was all Sweetwater as they got the win over Donahoe 11-3. In Class 1A non-area play, Cedar Bluff and Jacksonville Christian Academy went head-to-head. It was a doubleheader. Jacksonville Christian dropped the first game of the doubleheader against Cedar Bluff 15-2. Noah Lee went 1 for 1 with a walk and an RBI in the loss. He also scored a run. Moses Averett logged a hit while Jesse Ganaway scored a run. But it was all the Tigers of Cedar Bluff as they dominated Jacksonville Christian Academy 15-2. For Coach Blake Jennings' team, White Plains dropped a tough game to New Hope yesterday. Cooper Tenney and Dalton Luker both finished with 2 hits apiece in the loss. Luker hit a double. Tenney, Ashton Wallace, Coleman Ray, and Aiden Kilgore each drove in a run in the loss. But ultimately, New Hope comes down from North Alabama, and they put the wood to White Plains as New Hope won 13-4. And then this one right here, the Oxford Yellow Jackets took game 1 of the series against Pell City. Well, Oxford found a winning formula in its Class 6A Area 13 series with Pell City. And, of course, they hit 2 grand slams on Wednesday. Well, yesterday they worked out of a bases-loaded jam. And you got to say, just a day after Hudson Gilman and Forrest Heacock hit grand slams, Nick Richardson found himself on the mound working them out of a 2 bases-loaded jam as Oxford just squeezed past Pell City 3-1. And there was an optional third game that they didn't have to play, but Pell City won that game 11-2 as Oxford played a lot of several younger players. But Oxford is ultimately 2-0 in area play. They won the series opener 11-4 at Pell City, and then they turned around and won this one. So big series for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Hey, by the way, Richardson went 5 2/3 innings before turning it over to Carter Johnson, who got help working out of a jam with 2 runners on the 6th inning. Ultimately, Oxford's Heacock, the catcher, picked off a pinch runner at second base for the 3rd out. Oxford went on to win this one 3-1. So that is all of our baseball action from yesterday involving teams in East Alabama. Very busy on the diamond for baseball. Not nearly as busy in softball and soccer. Matter of fact, there was only 1 game apiece that involved an East Alabama softball team yesterday, or soccer team. So we're actually going to combine those 2. So we're going to go back to our scoreboard, and we're going to start with the 1 softball game that we did have, which featured Coach Rachel Smith's Piedmont Bulldogs. They played Fort Payne just a week ago, won that game. Well, they beat them again yesterday. Carson Young went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, and 4 RBIs. As Piedmont moved to 10-4 on the season, Caleb Brothers went 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI. And Cadence Buthram, I probably pronounced that wrong. If I did, I apologize, went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. J.C. Glover went 1 for 4 with a double and 3 runs. On the mound, who do you think pitched? If you guessed Savannah Smith, you're spot on. Yep, she got the win, striking out 8 batters while allowing 2 walks, 2 hits, and 1 earned run, as the Piedmont Bulldogs got the win over Fort Payne 9-3. The only soccer action we had was the Jacksonville Lady Golden Eagles. They went head-to-head with Cleburne County. This is Class 4A Area 5 action. It was at Jacksonville. And how about the Jacksonville Golden Eagles? They got 3 goals from Lexi Page. Yep, they got 1 from Emerson Weaver, Willa Kate Walker, Sophia Snyder, and Callie Terrell. And they got a big win over Cleburne County. Adding assists were Weaver with 2, Walker and Terrell each had 1. Emma Easterling led the defensive effort, and goalie Kelsey Sigler earned the shutout. They didn't give up a run, as it was all Jacksonville Golden Eagles as they got the win 9-0 over Cleburne County. I think that's all the scores we have from East Alabama yesterday. So it is Good Friday. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have good highlights at Jacksonville. We'll be right back with more on the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by the showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That's shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room. We continue on this Good Friday. Hope you've all had a great week. We're going to finish this thing in a strong way. And all I could hear after the end of Jacksonville's strong performance against Cleburne County was free brownies, free brownies, free brownies. I didn't really understand what that meant, but according to their players, our very own Katie Edwards makes them brownies anytime they get a sweep. So, Katie, if you'll just let me know what time those will be ready on Monday, I'll stop by practice and eat a couple of those myself. Needless to say, you get brownie points when you can sweep a series, because what you do is you put yourself in a position, obviously, where you don't have to play a third game, so you save yourself a game that you don't have to play, but you also 2-0 and don't have to worry about, obviously, getting into that tiebreaker situation when it comes later down in this series, depending on how you do against, of course, other teams in the area. For Coach Jamison Edwards' teams, it's kind of been much of the same. They're not really talked about a lot by other people, not really talked a lot about by the media, yet they do the same thing every year, and that is show up to the ballpark and win the most important games of the year. This is a team that just 2 years ago made that deep push in the playoffs. This is a team that just a year ago obviously won this area once again, and they've now put themselves in a position where if you beat White Plains 2 out of 3, no disrespect to Anniston, much improved, but you got to feel like Jacksonville's better. They beat White Plains 2 out of 3. This team's area champions again. So when are people going to start talking about Jacksonville more? they're always flying under the radar. They've certainly got as talented of a team as you can find, really, I believe, in this area. And I'm not just saying that. Whether it's Zay Lemon, Gavin Peeler, one of the better catchers for sure. Kingston Peeler really young. Jackson Bonner good. Matthew Salmon also really good. Will Greenwood looked good on the mound. There's so many pieces that make this Jacksonville team so underrated, in my opinion. And yesterday they put on a clinic, just a technique clinic of hitting, solid defense, good pitching, and great base running. I got to be honest with you. Cleburne County came in this series probably thinking, hey, we've got an opportunity. It was dominance. Jacksonville laid the wood to them. And I really do believe that non-conference or non-area schedule, I should say, was a factor because Jacksonville's played Oxford more than once. They played in the spring break experience. I mean, they have played some teams. And for Cleburne County, no disrespect, but they've played Woodland, Ranburne, a lot of smaller schools. Haven't played really as many higher classification teams like Jacksonville has. So sometimes some believe in not playing higher in terms of confidence and morale. Some believe in playing better competition to see if it makes you better. For Jacksonville, they were certainly prepared for Cleburne County. Cleburne County, not as much. Hey, our highlights are presented by Lindsey Barger of Really Real Real Estate. I got to ask you real quick before we get into these highlights. Are you ready to buy or sell? Maybe you're saying, yeah, I am. Well, I got good news for you today on Good Friday. Together with Lindsey Barger, we can help make your home dreams a reality. She specializes in home buying, selling, and investing. Whether you want to buy a personal home, buy land to build a dream home, sell a rental home, or just buy a home to flip and resell, whatever it is, I'm telling you, Lindsey Barger is a good friend for you through this process. You can call her today at 256-441-2389. Call her for all your real estate needs. And do not forget, guys, to like and follow her on Facebook and Instagram at lindseybarger.realtor. Let's get into the highlights from Jacksonville, presented by Lindsey Barger. There it is. Jacksonville Golden Eagles are the host team. They're hosting Cleburne County in Class 4A Area 9 play. There's the Cleburne County Tigers, looking like the Cincinnati Reds. All right, Will Greenwood's on the mound for Jacksonville. Greenwood's going to get Jake Littleton to strike out swinging. How about this guy right here? We just covered him the other day. Cannon Robertson hits a double to left field, and that one is going to move runners over from first to third, or it's going to move the runner from first to third. So now we got runners on third and second. Will Greenwood finds himself in a jam in the first inning. Will Greenwood says, I got a runner on third and second, 2 outs, no problem. Strike 3. He gets Hunter Gore to strike out swinging, and that ends the inning, leaving 2 Cleburne County runners on base. Nolan Wright on the mound for Cleburne County. Kingston Peeler is going to hit a single to right field. So Nolan Wright on the mound, and he's about to make one heck of a play right here too. Drake Loggins at the plate. Wright's going to throw it. Loggins attempts a bunt, and look at this catch. Man, what a catch by Nolan Wright. That's one heck of a catch to get the out. Drake Loggins is out. This time the player of the game, Zay Lemons, he's going to hit a ground ball to shortstop. Cannon Robertson's going to make a bad throw in the dirt, and that is going to score Kingston Peeler from third. So that is going to be a run for Jacksonville. This time Zay Lemons got speed. Yeah, he's going to be safe at second. He steals a base successfully. That throw was nowhere close to being in the shortstop's hands or second baseman's hands as Zay Lemons steals a base. This time Gavin Peeler is going to hit an RBI single. And look at Zay Lemon. He got some wheels, boy. He's going to score. So Gavin Peeler hits an RBI single that scores Zay Lemon. This time Ryan Mitchell at the plate. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field, and it is going to be caught cleanly by Asher Brown as Cleburne County is going to end the first inning threat. Jacksonville scores 2 in the bottom of the first. Asher Brown, speaking of him catching fly balls, this time he's going to hit it right back to Will Greenwood, and he's going to field it and throw it to first base for the out. All right, now at the plate for Cleburne County, it's Gabe Wickersham, and he's going to hit a pop-up, and the pop-up is going to be caught by Matthew Salmon for the out. By the way, home plate was shadowed. Some of the infield and outfield was not shadowed. Very tough camera day for me. I think I lost in the end. Either way, Will Greenwood gets Nate Adams to strike out looking. And here we go. Jacksonville back at the plate. Matthew Salmon's going to get a base hit to left field. It's going to go in right there for a base hit. Now that brings us to our next batter at the plate, Kingston Peeler. And talking about going to left field, Kingston Peeler is going to hit a fly ball to left field. And Asher Brown with another out in left field as he catches the fly ball. This time, Jacksonville back in the field. Jake Littleton is going to hit a ground ball to Jackson Bonner. He fields it and tags the base for the out. How about this right here? One of the best catchers in the area, one of the most underrated catchers, Gavin Peeler, throws it to second on a really fast Cannon Robertson, and they catch Cannon Robertson still, and Gavin Peeler gets the out. This time, Drake Loggins at the plate, and he's just going to draw a walk off of Nolan Wright. That was a pretty pitch, but it's a ball, and Drake Loggins gets the walk and heads to first base. Here comes Mr. Irreplaceable, Zay Lemons. He gets a base hit to left field. We're going to have a close play at third, but Jacksonville's going to advance their runner. Zay Lemons, 4 for 4 at the plate. This time, Jackson Bonner at the plate. He's going to hit one to left field, and that is going to fall, and that is going to score not 1, but 2 runs at the plate as Zay Lemons is safe at home. Jackson Bonner with a 2 RBI base hit to left field. This time, Jake Littleton at the plate. He's going to hit a fielder's choice to shortstop. Matthew Salmon's going to throw it to Ryan Mitchell at third. That is a force out, but that is an RBI as Cleburne County scores a run at home. This time, Will Greenwood is going to get Nolan Wright to strike out looking. Now we have Gavin Peeler back at the plate. He's already had a big RBI hit. He's going to get another one. He hits a base hit to left field, and that's going to score not 1, but 2 runs again as Zay Lemons crosses home plate. And that's a 2 RBI hit for Gavin Peeler. This time, Cannon Robertson's going to throw a wild pitch to Jackson Bonner. Jackson Bonner's going to score from third. That was a wild pitch to Daryl Atkinson's. But Cannon Robertson's going to come back and get Daryl Atkinson to strike out looking. And after the game, Jacksonville huddled together as they beat Cleburne County 11-3, and they sweep the series. So Jacksonville opens area play with a 2-0 sweep of Cleburne County, and now they stare down at White Plains for what will be an area championship for Jacksonville. White Plains still has to play both Jacksonville and Cleburne County. They've only played Anniston so far. And so, one heck of a series from Cleburne County. Again, that was just a clinic of good hitting, good defense, good base running. Now, Cleburne County is very talented. Do not get me wrong. This is a very talented team that has made the playoffs. They've got a couple college signees. This is a really good team, but this is the first time I think they've gotten beat soundly like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Townsend's team responds against White Plains, because now that's a make it or break it series for Cleburne County. And this is not the same White Plains team from the past couple of years. This is a much improved White Plains team under Blake Jennings. Now, I feel like these two teams right here, it could go either way. But needless to say, if we're going off uniforms, Cleburne County had some pretty sick uniforms. Those were pretty nice. You got the Cincinnati Red City Connect hat, the Cincinnati Red logo with tigers in the middle of it. So, but overall, it was all Jacksonville's day. We did talk with the winning coach, Jamison Edwards, after the game. We talked with what was the MVP, in my opinion, yesterday, Zay Lemon, but you'll have to hear from them in just a minute. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll have more with Jamison Edwards. We'll have more with Zay Lemon as we continue on this Good Friday on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. I appreciate you joining us on this Good Friday. I appreciate if you've been watching us all week. We appreciate our faithful watchers here on the Locker Room. Don't forget, we're getting closer and closer to our East Alabama Now news. I just looked at it and got a message saying I got to get in the newsroom quick, so we got to wrap this up. But needless to say, we've got sports more and just a little bit on this Cleburne County and Jacksonville game. John Holder's going to have your local weather. And then Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards bring you your local news. Katie been dealing with some sickness. We hope you get to feeling better. I'll tell you who wasn't sick yesterday, though, her husband, Jamison Edwards, and his team. They had a masterful performance as they defeated Cleburne County to sweep Cleburne County and win that series. And you don't want to really hear from me. You want to hear from the coach himself. Speaking of Jamison Edwards, we're going to talk with him. So I asked Coach Edwards to start things off. You dominated 11-3. I mean, I know how I felt like you guys performed, but how did he feel like his team performed?
I thought we played well. We have played a very tough schedule. We've really challenged these guys with who we've put them in front of. And it's all in preparation for this. We've reached part of the season where there's 6 games on our schedule that's going to determine whether or not we make it into the postseason. And getting these 2 from them is a really, really big step in that direction. So super proud of them. I'm proud of their intensity, proud of their effort. And it's always nice to get up 2-0 in the first series.
For Jacksonville, they've played Cleburne County for the area championship a lot here recently. To go ahead and get this win over them early in the season and early in area play is big. Now looking down the stretch, you've got White Plains, you've got Anniston. You'd like to believe they're going to beat Anniston. So if they take 2 out of 3 against White Plains, they're going to be area champions. Coach Edwards has already said before that he feels like this region is this area is pretty matched evenly. So I asked him, I said, Coach, you got White Plains down the stretch, you got Anniston. Just kind of talk about the rest of area play for your team.
Well, I think our area is about as competitive of an area in 4A. I think us and Heflin, White Plains, I think we're all very comparable. I think that any team is capable of beating anybody else on any given day. And of course, Anniston's improved. So we're going to have to continue to get better. We're going to have to continue to, do the little things that we did in this series. But if these guys will do that, then they'll certainly put themselves in a position to win an area championship and get into postseason.
Jacksonville scored 10-plus runs in both games in this series. Something was working offensively, so I asked Coach Edwards to talk about his offense.
We did. We had some good approaches at the plate. Guys were seeing the fastball well, and they were patient. We didn't chase a lot of stuff that was out of the zone. We drew some walks. Got some freebies, and we talk about that a lot. Anytime you can get a freebie, your chances of scoring in that inning go up. And so I thought we did a really, really good job of taking advantage of those kind of things and then getting the timely hit in these 2 games that we didn't necessarily get, at points earlier in the season.
The player of the game and the player of the series has to be Zay Lemon. He went 4 for 4, perfect at the plate yesterday. He went 7 for 8 in the series overall. The guy was just absolutely on fire. We talked with the MVP, Zay Lemon, and I said, Zay, 7 for 8 in the series. What was different about the past 2 days compared to any other moment in the season?
These past 2 days, I've been more confident. Didn't let anything get to my head. Always stayed up. Never let the mistakes get to my head. Just flushed it as soon as it happened. But in the past few games, I just let it get to me, and then everything would just go downhill from there.
Speaking of what was different for Zay Lemon, what was different for Jacksonville in general? Because we know they're good, but they just absolutely hammered Cleburne County. There's no other way around it. And so I asked Zay Lemon, as a team, what was different the past 2 days than maybe at other moments in the season.
Well, we executed well. We executed in the field, executed at the plate. We executed all around. We've had great pitching, great hitting. It's all of the above. I can't say anything else.
Jacksonville is poised to win another area championship now. And of course, they're going to have to take care of White Plains. Here's Zay Lemons talking about his goals for the rest of the season.
I hope we win the area championship. I hope that we all stay focused, stay confident, and keep our eyes further down the road.
For Jacksonville, they were scheduled to play this weekend against Alexandria. That game has been canceled. So now they'll be back in action next week, of course, where they've still got White Plains and Anniston looming, 2 big series. And for Cleburne County, they also got White Plains left, which is a must-win series for them, so they cannot find themselves getting down too much. You got to jump back up fast. I know Coach Townsend's team will do that. A lot of talented guys. I got to tell you, I think there was a lot of maybe not so great things yesterday, but certainly felt like Cannon Robertson had a better game for Cleburne County, even though they fell. And so we got to cover him, when he signed with Peru State. But he had a great series, a great game yesterday, I should say. I didn't catch the Wednesday game. But for Cleburne County, how they respond is going to be important down the stretch because they're going to play some tougher competition for sure. So this team, though, is built for it. They got a lot of guys that are going to play college baseball. So Cleburne County is going to respond. And we're certainly, when that White Plains Cleburne County series comes around, we'll certainly be covering that as well. And so, hey, I got to tell you what, it's been a good Friday with you guys. It's been a great week. And next week, it is going to be busy. So if you're out there next week, you're at the Calhoun County Golf Tournament on Tuesday at Pine Hill, whether you're at Choccolocco Park on Wednesday for the track meet, if I see you at soccer or softball, come say hey. Say, what's up, man? I'm going to say what's up right back. We'll chop it up. One of my favorite things about the job I do is talking with other people. And I love, especially baseball, I get to be in the dugout. That's the best view. I get to talk to players, coaches. I believe in building relationships. So, hey, come say hey to me if you see me around. I'd love to strike up a conversation. Again, send us highlights. Message our East Alabama Now page. Send us an email to eansports23@gmail.com. We'd love to spotlight your team or spotlight your kid. All right, that'll do it for us today. Have a great weekend. Remember, celebrate Easter because of the resurrection of Jesus, not because of good food and Easter eggs. So I'm going to leave that with you. Hey, God is good. He's still alive today. Hope you have a great weekend. God bless. I'm Namath Pitts, and thank you for watching The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.